Hey, are you finding yourself oversensitive, perhaps avoiding regular routines, feeling more of all the feelings, changes to your taste in food, maybe what you watch for entertainment? Maybe your intuition is louder and you are more aware of knowing things or hearing things. When strange things started occurring for me, over 15 years ago, there was almost nothing on the internet. The internet was its baby stages. The books in my small town were far and few between, and there was really almost nowhere to go to. Now, however, there is information everywhere, and can be confusing and overwhelming just in the process of searching out what the heck is going on with you. Totally get it. So here, what I'm going to talk about today is the 5 stages of spiritual awakening, which is kind of a term thrown around a lot now. And really, it's just the stages or phases that we go through during our intuitive awakening. And it's actually a part of a remembering more than, that's why we call it an awakening, because you're remembering rather than learning something new, which can feel more awkward because we're used to learning. We're just not used to remembering something that has been buried deep. Okay. So, and I'm going to be speaking today strictly from my own experience and the experience of hundreds of clients who I have witnessed and channeled information through for during readings and workshops. So this information is coming from my personal experience, what I've witnessed from clients, and channeled information that's come through from spirit as I was getting ready to do this video. So it's my belief that we are all experiencing a spiritual journey. Some of us are aware of it, some of us aren't, some of us are aware and avoiding. So we're all in a different, looking at our spiritual journey from a different perspective. And when we recognize we're on this journey, when we recognize the path in front of us, that's when we call it an awakening. It's not that you weren't on a spiritual journey before, you were just unaware consciously of what was going on. So I have clients who are waking up at all ages. I have a woman recently who is in her mid 70s who was just beginning her journey. And then other ones are kids. So my kids, they are being born now with this not forgetting as much. So they're already aware of it. So even small kids, they pick this stuff up just like that. They know what's going on. So it is not a one size fits all. You can be any age. It wasn't until I was in my 40s that this happened. So this is, or late 30s, I guess. So this is not something that is reserved for your 20s. You can be any age to have a spiritual awakening. And as always, out of the conversation, take what feels right for you and leave the rest behind, because there are, as I have been told again and again, all roads lead to Oz. So you're going to get to where you're going by following your own gut and just following the stuff that feels true for you. Okay? That's why I'm sharing my personal experience and things I've witnessed. Okay, we're going to get down to it. So stage 1, how it begins. Questions arise. I want to say recognition that the status quo is over. So you're going to be going along with your life and suddenly it will kind of creep in, I want to say. For some people, it's instant, it's one day. But even for myself, it was kind of a knock on the head. However, it did, now that I look back, it did kind of creep in slowly and I got less comfortable. So this is also the stage when you may start to feel discomfort. Humans are great for keeping familiar and in their comfort zone. And your spirit is going to get you uncomfortable so that you will seek out and it will nudge you on your path. So when you become very uncomfortable, it could be sensations, it could be lots of things will be overwhelming, things like that. But your spirit is going to nudge you along your path if you have agreed that this is the route you're going to take in this lifetime. So for some, this can include what is called the dark night of the soul, but not for everybody. So do not get in the thinking that if it didn't take me to my knees, am I actually awake? It's not the same for everybody. This stage 1 is really just the awareness that there are questions. There's an awareness that things don't fit the way they used to, or what was comfortable is no longer comfortable. So do not think that because it's a slight nudge, that it's not an awakening. It's totally that, it's going to be unique for you. Okay, so stage 1 is how it begins as questions arise. Stage 2 is the seeking. You're going to start looking for answers. You're going to start digging deeper into the questions and seek out like-minded people who resonate with your journey. Lots of times our friends won't understand what's going on with us. We will seek out new people. As they say, when the student is ready, then the teacher arrives. So you may find yourself finding books that will fall in front of you, or the name of a book will be repeated several times within a couple of days. You may hear it on a podcast or on the radio. A friend may talk about it. You may get an email from a newsletter you never signed up for. That's one thing that happened to me. I got a newsletter from a local store that is our woo-woo store, and I had never signed up for their email, but I got a newsletter and it was exactly what I needed at the right time. So at this stage, your spirit team is cheering for you. Trust me, they are up there or over there cheering and applauding and so happy that you are in the process of questioning. And they will do everything they can in order to assist you on your way. Synchronicity begins at this stage, I always say. So this is the stage 2 is really the answers start to show up. Things start to appear. Okay. And your spirit team is nudging you the whole way. Signs. This is where you may start to notice signs. So angel numbers may show up, which are just repetitive numbers. It could be 222, 444, 111, whatever is for you. You may start to notice that there will be feathers. Who knows? It could be butterflies. It could be feathers. It could be a particular type of flower. Things will be repetitive. That's your spirit team knowing, letting you know that they are on your side and they're cheering for you. Okay, now we're moving on to stage 3. So as we move forward here, just wanted to put out there, be sure to stay till the end, because at the end, I'm going to give you some tools and tips on how to manage your physical body during this time of transition. So be sure to stay to the end. Okay. Stage number 3, shift happens. Yes. So things are beginning to move. I want to say this is physically, it can be things moving. So lots of people will gain a little weight, lose a little weight. Shift begins to happen in how our clothes feel, even like the fabric. Sometimes people will be like, I can't wear that anymore. Your taste in things will start to be more pronounced. This is because our vibration, if you were here before, your vibration is rising slightly. And as your vibration in your body rises, it will need other things and disregard some things. It's just how we vibrate, how our energy will change. And as we change our energy, the things around us will also change. So lifestyle changes, new practices, you're going to be eager to try new things. So this is a try it on stage. This is not the stage to, I must do this or I should do that. This is really the phase where you want to try stuff on. It is the see if it fits, what doesn't. As I said before, really pay attention to your own gut and what feels true and what doesn't feel true. And it's not that Some practices won't feel true later. They're just not for you at this time. So for myself, I know that I kept thinking, well, I must not be very spiritual because I don't meditate and I eat steak. So obviously I'm not very spiritual. I don't know what all this stuff is that's going on, but it can't be as spiritual as I think. Well, that's ridiculous. So I love to meditate now, but at the beginning I did not. And so just try them on and things will change again. So, holding a great intention. Hold an intention. So this isn't the time to engage with your spirit team. So your team includes, and you can watch the video around this as well, but your team includes your higher self, your spirit guides, your angels, and that's kind of like your core team, as well as a myriad of other energetic beings and light beings that are here to help us along our path. But for you particularly, you're going to have your soul team, which is going to be your higher self, your spirit guides, and your guardian angels. So engage with them. This is the time to start having a conversation, start a relationship with them, talk to them, ask questions, look for signs, because trust me, they are up there cheering for you. Okay, so and it's at the perfect time to start noticing things like gratitude, appreciation, things like that. That will keep you in the vibration of your spirit team in order to get the answers. Okay. Stage number 4, integration. So this is where life might start to shake up a bit. So getting used to the new vibration and engaging with your new practices. This is the part where we up level. Just as in a video game, each level has its own challenges and rewards. And often as we integrate things, people, circumstances, physical objects will start to fade away from our life. So if we're all, say you and your friends are all vibrating down here, and suddenly you're going to take a little leap upwards, if they're not on the same length anymore, they may fall away. So don't be surprised if friends kind of just stay out of contact. As they fall away, new people who are on the next level for you will start arriving. Don't worry about it. And also circumstances. So again, your spirit team will nudge you. If you are in a job that you hate or that drains you, if you are in a relationship that is draining or overwhelming or really not on par for where you're going, you may be nudged out of it. Don't panic. There's a new one on its way. Just don't panic, okay? So integration, as we integrate anything, if we're, it's the same as if we change our food or our diet. Maybe you have to integrate something else into your life. It takes a little time, an adjustment period. This is that phase. Okay, so keep asking and watching for signs. That's the key. So finally, so those are the 5 stages. So that's how integration. This is experiencing. Sorry. Stage 5 is experiencing. So the new vibration is feeling pretty good by now, and your psychic gifts may be becoming more and more prevalent. So the ones that you are strongest in will show up first. So at the very beginning of my journey, it was, I'm very visual. So just this clairvoyance. So I was seeing things really, visual coming up. And so your strongest intuition will show up first, or your psychic gifts, whatever you want to call them. They're all the same. And those will show up first. As you advance in your journey, as you kind of move along the path, more will show up later. And this is the time too where you're really going to be in the experience of it all. Now, remember, you are in charge of your intuition. You are in charge of your journey, and you get to dictate the pace and how the follow-up goes, if you want this or that, or don't want this or that. I know at the beginning of my journey, and I knew near the very beginning of my journey that intuition was going to play a huge part in my life, not just a kind of like a side role or a supporting actor. It was going to be the main act. So at the very beginning, I said to my mentor, I don't want to see dead people. I don't like that, just creeps me out. I don't want to see dead people. She said, great, just say, I don't want dead people, because you're in charge always of your intuition. So you get to choose as your gifts arise what you would like to play more with and what you would like to downplay at this time. Okay, so what happens too is that your awareness is expanding, and you might be seeing life through a completely new set of lenses. It's like you put on a new pair of glasses that now have this new filter. And so things will not always look the same. And some things, suddenly compassion, often I hear people say this, that compassion comes to the forefront. Suddenly they can see people as Source sees them, as the divine sees them, instead of just seeing how they're being an ass or whatever's going on in their human life. Compassion tends to come to the forefront, and judgment becomes more distasteful. So you may, out of habit, gossip, or you may talk about something, or you may, something disturbing happened, and so you're going to rally against that person. But it becomes less tolerable when you hear it in others, and you will start to really recognize when you judge and how judgmental we are. There is nothing wrong with this. We are human, and humans judge. It just, in this stage, you will notice the contrast between them. Keep using and interacting with your spirit team. Keep using them. At stage 5, you're really bigger questions will start to show up, like this. So once you get to, so those are the 5 stages. So we have, let me scroll back here. So stage 1 is how it begins, questions arise. Stage 2 is you're in the seeking phase, looking for answers. Stage 3, shift happens. It's when the ahas come up. Stage 4 is integration, and stage 5 is experiencing it. So these are the 5 stages of spiritual awakening that I've had experience of or witnessed to. Now, I'm not going to say it's a number 6, but what happens is this is an eternal journey. This is not a one-time stop and done show. So those 5 stages continue to repeat. It's like once you've moved up to this level, well, then you go up to this level, and it continues to repeat consistently for as long as you want it to. You can at any time. I have had people say, that's it, I don't want any more, I'm turning it off. It is, I will admit, usually very difficult to get off the path because you've opened the door. You can slow it down, you can take a break. You're always in charge, always. But this evolution becomes addictive. It is, we're still living in a 3D life, but having that spiritual connection, having that interplay and connectivity and co-creation with your spirit team, it becomes addictive. It is fun. It is enlightening. It is frustrating. It can be overwhelming. And then it goes back to fun again. And there's this sense of mission. There's a sense of love that permeates the whole thing, even when you're feeling like crap. I would much rather be on this journey consciously choosing it and feeling crappy than being unaware of it. So that's where I've come to. Okay, so you've made it all the way to the end of the video through my stumbles and my ahas and all that stuff. Thank you. So now I'm going to tell you a few tools and tips that you can use along the way. Number 1, ground. Stay grounded. So it's super easy. You want to stay energetically grounded and connected to the earth. So when you put your feet on the floor in the morning, you just shoot down roots out of your bottom of your feet. Imagine that there's roots going down into the earth and they're going to curl in. She has got you. She's going to keep you safe. You're not going to get bowled over. You're not going to get sideswiped. You're going to be strong and steady. As we begin our practice, grounding is super, super important. It's also really important for every phase. So the invitation is to begin getting grounded several times a day. Something will shock us and we'll suck up our roots. Something will surprise you and you'll be like, and up they come. So when I teach workshops, I say attach grounding to something that you already do. So when you go pee, shoot down roots. You're not doing anything else anyways. So just in that moment, every time you sit down to go pee or stand up to go pee, shoot down some roots, get grounded again, and off you go. Number 2 tool is to hydrate. So important. I get clients all the time. They walk in and I'm like eating the desert because they are so dehydrated. Our body is like an electrical machine. That's why we get ECGs for our heart and, EKGs for our brain waves, because we're electrical. Water is an amazing conductor of electricity. And as your intuition grows, when you use your intuition, you're going to need to hydrate more. When I do readings, I drink 2 or 3 times as much water as I do on a regular day because it is very dehydrating. If you're not hydrated, you cannot connect to your intuition. Bottom line. Okay, so number 2 is hydrate. Number 3, take some time outside. Connect with nature. Hands on trees. Fingers in the dirt. And if you live in a city, then just walk outside somewhere. Just get some fresh air every day, get a little stretch away from computers and desks and all that stuff in your phone, and just connect with nature, or just connect. And nature is simply the air. So even if it's just walking along the boardwalk in the city, do that. You can sit outside for 5 minutes during your lunch hour. Just take a little bit of time to connect back. For a lot of people, they are fairies I always call them fairy children. Their replenishment is nature. So if you feel really drained, go find a tree. Just kind of casually lean up against a tree, even if it's in the middle of the city, and see how you feel afterwards. You may feel really recharged and regenerated. Okay, so number 4 is use your imagination. So imagination and intuition live in the same place. So have fun with it. Some of the things that I teach about using your imagination is to, when you're having a shower in the morning or in the evening, imagine all the energy from the day washes away. The water is this healing, wonderful waterfall. You could imagine you're in Tahiti or somewhere and the waterfall is falling over you, but all the energy that's not yours is being washed away. Anything that doesn't belong to you gets washed down the drain. Another way is to stomp. So I teach this when I do kids workshops, but it works for adults just as well. So any place outside your home, not right in front of your door, but off to the side somewhere, or as you're coming home, stomp along the sidewalk for the last few feet. And you're just imagining that same kind of thing. Everything's getting shaken loose. All the energy that was somebody else's gets shaken off of you. And you can just imagine the dust flying off, everybody else's crap, away it goes. And so when you enter your house, you're clean and just you. Let's see. So try spending 5 minutes of just imagination, daydreaming before you got out of bed in the morning and just before you go to sleep at night. Just let your mind wander, daydream. What would it be like if? Those 5 minutes at each end of your day will set you up for better or easier connection to your intuition. Okay. So if you've watched the whole video to the end, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And of course, um, give me a thumbs up. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe and leave a comment below letting me know what kind of videos you want. If you want a whole video on tools and tips, I can do that. Let me know what you're thinking. And if you have any questions, of course, leave those below as well. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much and have an absolutely fabulous day.